Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Suited Kings podcast. On today's episode, we're going to discuss Wes Cannon and I's trip to Council Bluffs, Iowa, where we played the entirety of the World Series of Poker Circuit Schedule. It ended up being a really good week and a half for both of us. Wes ended up winning a ring with 3 final tables, and I had 2 final tables myself. No ring, but that doesn't matter. We'll get into some hands and all that good stuff.
Yeah, no, we crushed it. I mean, when you gave me a call after you busted the main in 7th place, and at the time I was kind of like, oh, that's a shame. Like, great run, good score, but obviously you wanted the win.
Yeah,
and then I think I texted you like an hour or two later, like, man, it just occurred to me like we both won over 20K profit in like just over a week.
Yeah, both of us.
We just like it was nothing.
We came, we saw,
we conquered,
we gave him the salami. Anyways, so I think a good place to start is from the beginning, right? So Wes and I got in on a Thursday.
Thursday night.
Yeah, and our plan was to both play Friday and then multi-flight 400 event. I ended up skipping and playing golf just because I wasn't feeling it that day. But I let Wes kind of handle that one. He went in firing. Let's hear about it.
Yeah, so the first day one, I busted. The second day one, things went a lot better. For the most part, honestly, on day one, I won like 1 or 2. I think I won 2 flips, and then I just made big hands in a couple situations where my opponents either decided to bluff into me or also made a slightly less big hand. So it went pretty smoothly in that regard.
I love when that happens.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It almost feels like it's almost like a little less fun in a way, but we still take it.
So explain the tournament a little bit. What is it? It's
so this is a 400 multi-day.
Multi-day meaning
2 days.
Okay.
So day one we played down to 10%, and WSOP pays 15%. So we were well into the money when we bagged up. I think between the 2 flights we had 33 remaining because there were 330 total entries and 33 remaining.
So exactly 10%.
Exactly 10%. There's one hand on day one that I thought was a little interesting. Just a couple decisions by both me and the opponent worth going over. In some ways, the hand played itself, but in other ways, there were decisions that could have been made to not fully change the outcome, but limit the damage.
Okay.
By one of us.
Okay.
We'll get into it. So we're at blinds 1,500, 2,500. I'm in the big blind. I have about 150K, 60 bigs. Under the gun opens to 5,500, and he has about 100K, so 40 bigs.
Okay.
Folds to me in the big. I have 10-9 offsuit. I call.
What position did you open from again?
He opened from under the gun.
Under the gun, okay.
I defend big blind with 10-9.
And what's this opponent? Before we get into the hand, like, what's their image? What do you think of them?
Honestly, I have no idea. So I was the 9 seat. He was the 1.
Okay.
So
you don't have to see him.
I'm not like really looking at him much, and I don't remember him doing anything crazy, either in a good or a bad sense.
So for people who aren't familiar, the 9 and the 1 seat are to the left and the right of the dealer. So you have the dealer in between you.
Yeah, dealer right in between. So yeah, no real strong impression of him. So yeah, there's 15K in the pot. Flop is ace 8-7 with 2 spades. I do have the 10 of spades, which is not going to be super relevant, but so I check and I face a min bet. He bets.
So you flop second pair.
Open ender.
What was the flop again? Sorry, my computer screen just went off.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Ace 8-7.
It's gonna be one of these days. So you flop the nutter open ender.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we face a min bet. First decision here is I could semi bluff, I could raise it, or I can just call, getting a great price with 8 very strong outs.
I think being as deep as we are, and also being that the opener is under the gun. So first off, I think them being under the gun, they should have a tighter range.
Sure.
Ace king.
A lot of ace king, ace queen.
Exactly. So and it was king 7-8 or ace 7-8.
Ace 7-8.
Ace 7-8. I did this. Yeah. It's ace 7-8. I like calling in this position and not bloating the pot at this point, trying to turn the nuts and then take him to Value Town.
That's what I opted for. My thought was like, if I had a weaker draw, I could maybe turn that into a bluff because I don't mind getting blown off of it as much.
So what would a weaker draw look like? What would your hand be?
Like 8-4 suited without a flush draw of any sort. Or sorry, 9-5 suited.
9-5.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
We're
messing
both
up the
on
board too.
So you have like a gutter with 9 high or something.
Yeah,
that.
Something
you
like
don't
that.
mind getting blown off the hand.
Yeah, in this with 10-9, it really sucks if I get 3-bet because I either have to call getting the right price, but putting in a ton of chips in behind.
Yeah, and you said,
or if he just rips it, I have to fold.
Yeah, and you have such a strong draw right now. So
I do.
Okay, what did we go with?
So call pot's 20K.
Lovely.
Turn offsuit 6, so I just turn the nuts. It's
Bink.
beautiful. Yeah.
Did you say that in your head? Bink.
Yeah, I think I did. I've definitely had that where it's not only the straight, it just doesn't bring in the flush. It's like, oh, I have the nuts here.
Yeah, you're really not worried about much. You're just trying to figure, at this point, your mindset goes to how do I get the most money in the pot?
Yeah. And there's probably an argument for leading, but I think the best way to get a lot of money in is to go with check raise.
Yeah.
Because if I lead, he's likely to just call with a lot of stuff.
So just holding on to that thought for a second, we won't stick on this too long, but I think I might like leading against better opponents and checking against weaker opponents, if that makes sense.
That does.
Okay.
That makes sense to me. Yeah, because like better opponents might, they might be more likely to float you a little lighter, or also, if they perceive it as weakness, they will attack harder.
Well, exactly. They'll attack harder or they'll float lighter. Those are both great reasons as to why you might do that against a better player. But go ahead. So you check here?
I check, and he bets 8K into 20. So it's still kind of a small bet, but it's sort of a sizing up from what he bet, like 1/6 on the flop, right?
Yeah.
So now he bets 40%. Definitely planning on check raising because he still has, 80-some thousand back.
Yeah. So we're not deep in. So we want to check raise because if we don't check raise, there's a good chance we don't get all the chips in.
Yes.
And if we just flat call trying to trap, we're, like you said, we're going to check the river, and it gives him the option not only to check back, but just not get the chips. So
yeah, and there are a lot of cards that make 4 to a straight on the river that could slow him down.
Yeah, plus kill your action, exactly.
Yeah, if he had bet 25K, I mean, maybe I still jam then, but against an opponent who is going to bet big and polarize himself, maybe then I call just to protect my range.
Okay.
But with a straight, I don't even know if that's true, because with a straight, the beautiful thing about that is I don't block any, like he can have a set,
any value,
ace 8 suited, ace 7. Yeah, like, so it's probably just good to get it in now. I raised to 23K. He calls pretty quickly, so there's 66 in the pot.
We love to see the quick call because that means there's a good chance that he's going to call a river bet.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no flush draw, it's rainbow?
It's 2 spades on the flop.
2 spades on the flop. So it's possible that he has a flush draw, but he could have a lot more than that being under the gun. So,
yeah. So he has like 70 left, so just over pot size. River offsuit king, so I still have the nuts on the river.
That just smashes his range too, which is awesome. We want the ace kings in there, the pocket kings.
Ace king is king's probably fold or check back, but ace king is squarely. I mean, if he called with ace king on the turn, he's calling it all now.
Yeah. And we still have the absolute stones at this point.
Mm-hmm.
We're not losing this hand.
Correct. So I actually probably made a bit of a mistake here because I should probably just jam and try and.
You have just over pot left, right?
He does.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, he has just over pot in his stack left. Yeah, I like just jamming here and trying to get maximum.
I got too cute because I think there was a reason for it. I think a lot of times players are more likely to pay off if their tournament life is still there.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of an exploit, but I think I got a little too cute. I bet 46K into 66.
Okay, and
he snap goes all in anyways. So
what? Okay, so yeah, did you double check your cards before putting it in?
I just said call and turn my cards face
we know
up.
Where we're at. Yeah.
And he sort of went like, God, and turned up ace 8 suited.
So you told me about this hand. Now I remember. He's had ace 8 suited. So
Yeah, he flopped top 2.
He flopped top 2. However, like I think everything he did is fine up until the river jam.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
So like I think you're polarized to having. I mean, you could have some shittier 2 pairs, but I don't think you're going to check raise the turn and try and get it all in with a shitty 2 pair on that board, especially on ace king of the river, because he has all the ace kings. So you don't need to put yourself in a spot where you're just value owning yourself.
Yeah, this is a good concept to take out of it. And sort of why I brought it up is because his river decision, his ace 8 suited is like, it probably beats some value sometimes, but it's a little better than a bluff catcher, but it's still mostly like when he reopens the action, the hands that I'm going to call him with, most of them are beating. So like when you're value betting the river, make sure that over 50% of the hands that call you are hands that you beat, which for him is not the case. So he definitely made a mistake.
It's a great way to look at it. It's kind of
raising
important for him to realize too that like that little extra thin value he's getting by going all in if you did have a crappier 2 pair isn't worth the same value as him keeping those same amount of big blinds behind to have tournament life.
It's another great point. Like even though we're still pretty early in the tournament, I mean we're actually not too far from the money probably, but we're still relatively early. Like there is still a little ICM effect, like you said, where keeping some chips, like the value of the getting extra chips is not as much as the downside of losing the rest.
Are we post registration?
Actually we are.
Okay.
We are post registration.
Okay, so that means for the people who don't know, this means you can't rebuy at this point.
Can't rebuy, and it means we're getting pretty close to the money actually.
Okay.
So this was definitely a mistake by him for several of those reasons.
That's my slow clap. We'd love to see you get all the chips there. Like, hey, we're not complaining about that. But in terms of like playing it correctly, it's just a big mistake on his part.
So yeah, that was the main one from day 1 that I had. On day 2, there were a few interesting hands. Try and get through them a little quicker here. The first one is kind of a similar concept in the sense that we're 3 tables left, so something like 23, 24 players left. Blinds were 6-12. I had they were 4-8 at this point. I had like 350K, give or take. Doesn't matter. We're not going to get all in on this hand. The only guy at the table who has me covered opens to 18K. And he's in early position. I defend the big blind with ace 9 off. Flop comes ace queen 9 rainbow. And I decide to just check call when he bets 22K.
Okay, keep his bluffs in.
So yeah, a couple things. So keep his bluffs in. This board hits him harder, so it's, for one thing, just kind of suspicious if I raise, but also he does have ace queen, and if I'm all the hands that could beat me, he can have.
And even if he doesn't have those hands, he's more willing to rep double barreling by betting flop and turn because it hits his range more than it hits your big blind range.
Yes, and lastly, getting all the chips in against the one guy that covers me, like I should really not do that unless I'm feeling very good that I have the best hand.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so I check call 22K. Turn is a 7, bringing the second club.
Full boards, 7-9 queen ace.
Yes,
2 clubs. Okay.
I check. He bets 42K, which is, it's not that big. Like it's not a sizing where I think he's gonna jam the river or anything.
Okay. Are we staying in call mode here?
Stayed in call mode because think about like his value that I'm beating, ace king and ace jack.
They might just fold to a raise.
Yeah, if I check raise turn, that's very strong.
Yeah, and you want him to overvalue those hands and maybe even triple barrel them.
Yeah, like I'm planning to check call the vast majority of rivers anyways. Okay.
I like it with this hand specifically.
So yeah, I check call river king, which is not the best.
Because a lot of his hands now beat you.
I mean, jack 10 gets there and
ace king queen.
Well, I still beat king queen.
I mean, yeah, you do beat the king queen. Just throwing ideas.
No, ace king and jack 10 suited.
Ace king and jack 10, yeah. And ace queen already beat you if they had it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it goes check and I win.
So. Okay. You never saw what he had.
No.
It's still a nice pickup, and I think you probably got the maximum.
Probably.
Yeah. Because he would have full. I mean, if he obviously didn't have ace king, or ace queen, or jack 10, so
he might have had ace 10.
He might have had ace 10, but we're thinking that's folding if you check raise it.
Yeah,
Maybe not.
He could have been bluffing king jack or king queen and be like, well, maybe a king wins.
He probably rivered some showdown value with something like king jack or something like that.
That could that's a very reasonable possibility.
Yeah. He flops a gutter to Broadway. And then just double barrels it, range repping, and then rivers a king, and it's like, all right, I got enough showdown value, check it back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So you win that hand. Nice hand.
I win that hand. Actually, I'm going to skip over. There were two hands that I lost. I'm going to skip over this one just for the sake of time. The second one, it's pretty funny, so I think I should mention it. At this point, you were on the rail, so you remember this one.
Okay, yeah, and if anyone remembers, I don't often live report, but I was on Twitter saying, like, maybe I wasn't live reporting at this point.
I think you did at the final table, but this was with 10 or 11 left.
Okay, got you.
So I'm chip leading. I have 1.4, 1.5 million.
And I'm Wes's personal cheerleader on the side.
Yeah, it's awesome. And the big line's 25K. So I got 55, 60 blinds somewhere in there.
Oh my God, is this the king 7 hand?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So folds to the small blind. He's an old guy, guy in his 50s, probably recreational player. He limps. I have jack 10 of clubs in the big blind. I raised to 70K, which is, I would usually go maybe a little bigger, but I actually kind of just wanted to bloat the pot in position. He started the hand with like,
what
450
position was he?
Blind versus blind.
It was small blind, you're big. Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
So he calls the 70, flop his ace king 9 with 2 clubs, and I had jack 10 of clubs. So
dear God,
I think I had the straight flush draw. I think it was ace of spades, king 9 of clubs.
Yeah.
Anyways,
you had a lot of outs.
Yeah,
but no showdown value yet.
He launches it all in.
For how many bigs?
16 or so, about 400K.
So he donk jams.
Yeah. And I assume he just has an ace. Once in a while, I'll get lucky and he has like 6-5 of clubs or something.
Yeah. But you're just like, man, what a dumb spot, because you're never folding here. You have.
Yeah, I did the math. I'm like, I'm calling.
Even against ace X single pairs, you're a slight favorite, right? Are you
slight underdog?
Yeah, like 48-52, something like that.
Roughly, yeah. So I call, and he has king 7. So not only, it's one thing if he has an ace and he's like, just doesn't want to think about
no club.
He had the 7 of clubs.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. It takes away one of my outs, but other than that, so. Anyways, the board, I turned a jack, but the river was another 9.
So go ahead.
So it was just so silly, and I remember I looked over at you like, come on, man.
I remember just face palming hard as so essentially, just to recap the hand, he had second pair.
Yeah, he put himself in a situation where he's folding out all my worst hands except like the 3 combo, like queen, the 3 straight flush draws. And then otherwise, if I'm calling,
he's dominated.
Yeah.
I think it's important to realize here, this guy's definitely an amateur. He's an older amateur. He did not think any of that stuff. What was going through his head is, I flopped a pair and I'm not getting blown off it.
I think it's interesting to think about, because it is sort of just an instinct. Like, I have something, I don't want to get bullied around by this guy.
Yeah.
If I check and he bets, I won't know where I'm at.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably his exact thoughts, honestly.
Yeah. More like feeling, I would say.
Yeah. Incorrect feelings.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you're willing to put all your chips in with a king, then go with a check call, because then you keep all my other bluffs in. You know what I mean?
My favorite part about this story was talking with his wife at a different table the next day, and her telling me that he plays really tight.
Yeah, he was really patient.
Not from what we saw, but let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, so that was funny. Anyways, I chip up a bit. We get to the final table, second in chips. The one interesting hand I remember with 8 left that I texted you about right after was, so the chip leader was on my right, and I was in second by a good margin. So we had the table covered by a lot, and he limped it was still 25K. He completed small blind, and I raised to 85K with ace jack off. He called. Flop was ace of diamonds, 6-4 of hearts. And we both had like, I had about 1.1, 1.2 million, and he had quite a bit more.
Okay.
So like almost 50 blinds deep. He checks and I checked back, and I thought this was a really good concept to go over, because my thought here is like, I'm usually value betting this in most situations, but against the one guy who covers me, it's so bad if I get check raised.
Yeah.
Because either I'm gonna fold the best hand a lot, or I'm gonna be getting money in against a draw and like maybe setting myself up to lose.
You're losing your edge.
Yeah, and it's so bad to be at risk when you're sitting second of 8.
Yeah.
You know? You can just torch a lot of money by putting yourself in that spot. So I check back. Turn is 3 of hearts. He bets super small. The rest of the hand isn't super interesting. He bets super small, I call. River offsuit 10, he checks. I bet like half pot, he folds.
Okay.
But main concept is like, be very careful putting in chips in spots where it's really bad to get at risk, you know?
Yeah. And what kind of factors do you take into consideration when thinking that?
You know, like it was a board where there were a lot of draws available.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not like the sort of hand where I could value bet, but then if he raises, I'm like, oh, he just has it.
Mm-hmm.
I could get blown off a super high equity hand. Or if I decide to call down, I could either bust or be down in the range of everyone else. Whereas like just having such a chip edge over everyone else except for him is so important. And like,
so you're pot controlling because you have edges, a better edge here in different spots.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Like getting all the chips in is not my goal here.
Yeah.
So if it's only a 1 or 2 street hand anyways, don't put yourself in a situation where the pot could get bloated.
Okay.
And the check back also has the element of deception where maybe he just fired out a bluff on the turn.
I think pot control here is, it's super important. I do agree. And I can't think we were kind of talking about, well, I'll skip this thought because we got a lot to go through here, but we can get into that later. Yeah. So what do we got next?
Yeah. So, I mean, there are a couple more interesting hands, but long story short, I won the tournament.
Yeah, it was pretty sick. I had a lot of fun sweating that one. I mean, Wes was essentially just playing just ideal the entire way. He didn't put himself in any rough or tough spots, and like
I felt like I played pretty lights out.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was definitely.
Yeah, there weren't like any super above the rim things I felt like I did. But
no, but you just played solid throughout. You didn't put yourself in any unnecessary big, flip spots, etc. Like,
yeah, I put pressure on early in the final table.
You made a lot of folds when you needed to fold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I got some good hands at the right time. And
dude, I absolutely loved watching you win your second ring.
It was a ton of fun, and you kind of called it too.
Yeah, I did. Before the day even started, I'm like, this one's you, Wes. Like, I know I would say that no matter what, right?
But yeah, but you were telling me like you're not even gonna like fourth, second. What is this? Like you're winning.
But it was a vibe. Like I just intuitively had the feeling it was gonna happen, and I put out a tweet like, follow me as I update on Wes running all these fish over.
Yeah.
Like that. And lo and behold, homeboy comes out with the ring. So congrats on that. You ended up final tabling 3 events.
Yeah. So we won't go into the hand histories, but the next day on Monday I played. Did you play the 400 too?
I did. I fired 3 bullets to no avail.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was like your only bad tournament though.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So I did final table. I got 8th. It was only for like 1380 or something. So
still a good result.
Yeah, good result. Can't complain. The following day we had the monster stack, which we'll get into in a sec. Just a quick touch on the other final table. I did get 9th place in the 1100. That was for like 2400. It was only 103 entries. So it was like getting 9th in a Canterbury Daily or something.
It's weird. That's like 1100s are my bread and butter. It's where I play mostly, right? But for some reason, I was not feeling it that day.
Yeah, I mean, you had a deep run the day before, and we were there to play the main, and
I was there. We were there to play it all right, but yeah, important to keep in mind, like if you're not feeling it, don't put yourself in a spot to where like you just don't do it if you don't want to. I wasn't feeling it that morning when I woke up. I wasn't feeling sick or ill or anything. I just didn't feel comfortable playing at my best. So I took the day off that day, and then Wes final table instead. So
if you had played, it would have been you, obviously.
I would have busted his ass. We'd have got sat together. You would have fucking caught it, dude. So that's pretty sick.
Let's talk about the monster stack though, because it was that was the one where I busted super early. I fired twice.
Okay.
You made it all the way, and you got third for like 8K.
I got third for 8K, 400 buy-in, not bad. So up to this point in the series, I've dusted 4 entries. Yeah. So $1,600 worth. It's actually not terribly like out of line. This is for those of you who don't know, like, busting 4 tournaments in a row is pretty standard.
Very.
Yeah. It's not a big, it's pretty normal. But so I've taken a few days off. I haven't really had any results yet. We're maybe halfway into the trip at this point. Then the $400 monster stack comes up. It's a 2-day event, not multi-flight. So it's just 1 day one. And then
they said it was 2 days. It kind of ended up being...
It's in the air on how fast the tournament goes. So Wes and I both fired. I think after 1, you kind of were just like, or maybe it was post-reg and you busted, right?
Yeah, I busted. And then I'm like, I'm going to fire 1 I'm going to like take a walk and then fire at the last minute again.
Yeah.
Just got nothing going.
Yeah. So, and that stuff happened. So immediately out of the gate, I late regged maybe a couple hours in. Nothing too crazy. It's 30-minute levels. I maybe regged with like 40 bigs or 50 bigs or something. Throughout almost the entire tournament, I just chipped up without any issues. There was probably a couple hands. I don't even remember what they were, but where I would lose a flip and then, I was never like super short. I would just lose a little bit of chunk and then start running everybody over again. Leading up to the final table, I developed a pretty big stack. Coming into the final table, I don't remember exactly what place I was in. Maybe 4 of 9.
Yeah.
It's kind of slipping my memory at this point, but there was an interesting hand at the final table I wanted to talk about where I made a massive fold correctly, thankfully. In hindsight, it makes complete sense too. But anyways, I open ace 10 suited. We're 3-handed at this point.
Were you 3? I thought it was like...
Maybe it was 4-handed?
Because I feel like I remember you saying you laddered up because you made the fold. Maybe I'm wrong, but...
I don't think I laddered up from that one.
Okay.
Well, for just to keep the story going, there's 3 left. I open... No, it was 3-handed because... it was 3-handed. So I have 2 million in chips. What's his name? Donnie Fan, Brian's brother. Also has around 2 million chips. He is just under 2 million. And then the chip leader had like 5 million or something like that. I opened ace 10 of spades on the button. I'm not even sure how many big blinds it was at that point. Maybe 30. Anyways, Yeah, it doesn't matter. Donnie folds, big blind calls. Flop comes ace 7-7.
Mm-hmm.
Big blind checks. And I'm thinking at this point, so here's a spot. You can either c-bet this or you can check it back, I think, in my opinion. I think there's merit to both. He might have some underpairs where he might just call one street or something like that. I think the better play here is check. And the reason is because, number one, he's just going to fold so many hands. So I want him to maybe catch a pair or something like that. And secondly, I'm pot controlling in case he has a 7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're kind of looking at it as a 2-street hand regardless.
Exactly. Yeah, I never think I'm going to get 3 streets of value, meaning get value on the flop, the turn, and the river. Mm-hmm. So my goal here at this point is my hand's super strong, I feel like at this point. So I'm going to try and go for turn value and river value. Well, he checks, I check back. The turn is an offsuit 10. So it's ace 10, 7-7. I have ace 10 for top 2. He checks again on the turn. I bet small on the turn. I bet, I think, third pot. And he just calls relatively quickly. At this point, I'm like, sweet. Like, he might have some Broadway draws. He might just have another 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought if he had a 7, I would have heard from it on the turn here.
Mm-hmm. And, theoretically, I think a lot of his underpairs are supposed to just shove it in your face pre-flop.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think a lot of people do that.
He's a big-time amateur, too.
Yeah.
He definitely is newer.
We don't have to
and he was adamant, he admitted that, right? So
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he also has like 8-9s for open enders now that he turns. There's a lot of straight draws that the 10 brings in. Broadways and not Broadway straight draws. So, anyways, I bet third pot and he calls. Now, the river comes in offsuit 8. So it's
Seems
ace
good.
10, 7, 7, 8. I'm loving this board at this point. I think I'm going to get a bet here and hopefully get a call from him. So he checks. I believe half pot at this point.
Okay.
And he snap goes all in.
And I remember you saying, wasn't it the check jam was like 8x or something?
Yeah, it was a big check jam. It was like an overly sized check jam. So I got top 2. I stood up out of my chair. My seat almost hit the ground.
Like when you make that bet, you're like, I hope he just flicks in the call.
Yeah, yeah. I'd never expected an all in here at any point. Again, I thought any 7s he would have had I would have heard from already. So he goes all in, and I'm thinking about it. So the hands I'm trying to. Wes mentioned earlier, like the value hands versus the non-value hands. Is it 50%? Does he hit, like? Explain how you said that again. So
when you make a value bet on the river,
yeah, right?
You're the hands that call you need to beat at over 50% of those to make it a profitable value bet.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm trying to think of hands that he would value here and then hands that he would bluff here. And I'm going through the board at this point. So I'm like, what could he have that he'd want to go all in here with? Well, it's not an ace X.
Yeah.
I thought I would have heard from 7 at this point. So maybe he rivered jack 9.
Yeah.
So he could have just had jack 9 and went check on the flop. He turned a gutter and then rivered the gutter and then got it. So that's one hand that beats me. Another one is he somehow has pocket 8s, which he might just check call on the flop. Check call on the turn because he went check on the flop. And then he rivers a boat. So
yeah, it's in because even if he was trapping with a 7, going all in, like a 7 isn't the nuts by any means.
No, I could have bigger boats.
Yeah, that's
I could have pocket 10s, pocket aces.
Yeah, well, you could even have like jack 9.
Or I could have jack 9. Yeah, exactly. Opening the button 3-handed, definitely.
Yeah, it's pretty thin. Like, but also the way you've described this guy. He doesn't seem do this as a bluff.
He doesn't seem capable.
See this
my concern is he overvaluing a hand that he shouldn't be overvaluing?
Ace 8 or something.
Exactly. Yeah, does ace 8 or something like that. But that is he just overvaluing a hand like that? So we thought about hands that beat us, and those way outweigh the hands that he could have for value that he would overvalue, like the 7s, the boats, etc. and stuff like that. So I end up folding ace 10 after maybe about 2 minutes of contemplation. And before I folded, I said, hey, man, would you show me? I was like, show if I fold. And he kind of just didn't say anything at first. And then he looks at me, he's like, okay, I'll show you. And that was a big tell immediately. I'm like, okay, he wants to like show me he's got a big hand here, right?
Yeah.
So I fold ace 10 and he flips over 2 7s for quads.
Quads, yeah.
3-handed folding top 2 is tough, but if you think about it in like a theoretical perspective, like I'm just not beating much here on this board that he would play that way.
Yeah, I mean he's the price you're getting. And this is not.
And they overjam on the river too. It's just like
I don't remember exactly but it's like you would need to be right 40% of the time, and that's not even considering ICM.
Yeah.
And whatnot.
So I made the fold. I felt great seeing quads, obviously, there. Unfortunately, I ended up getting coolered and ended up busting in third in that tournament regardless. But I was still very happy with how I played, and it was a great result. 8.1K cash, $400, only one entry. So yeah, that was pretty sick.
So then we had the main event.
Let's pause for a second, actually. So we've been here for a week and a half.
Yeah.
You got 3 final tables under your belt and a ring.
Yes.
I have
about 25K in cashes. I'm about 3,500 in buy-ins.
Yeah, Wes is absolutely slaying it. We both feel great. I took 2 days off after the monster stack. I skipped the 1,100 and then their 400 ring and seats event where it's like a $400 qualifier where you can win a ring. There's no cash and it's all seats, but you can win a ring too. Very strange.
Yeah, I skipped that one too.
Yeah, so I took 2 days off, did some golfing, worked on some podcast stuff, etc. Wes final tabled the 1K. And then we went into the main event.
I actually did have one interesting hand with like 12 left in that.
Okay, let's hear it.
We'll run through it super quick. So we're already in the money. It was only like 16 that cashed, I think. Anyways, Mark Fink is the main villain in the hand. He's won several rings. He's a good player from South Dakota.
I'm familiar with his name, but I couldn't put a face to him.
Yeah. Anyway, so he opens. We're at 36K. I have about 170K. He has me covered by a lot. He opens the 13K. We're six-handed.
You said he has 170?
I have 100. He has me covered by a lot.
So you just have under 30?
Yep.
Like 28, okay.
So he opens the 13K just over min. I defend the big blind with 5 deuce of hearts.
Okay.
Flop is king 9-7 all hearts. So I flop a flush.
Whee!
Yeah. Pot's 35K. I check, he checks back. My plan is to go for a good chunk of value.
Yeah. We feel like we're nutted here even,
Turn is another king, pairs the board.
I kind of hate to see that a little bit.
Yeah, it's not the most ideal.
Do we think he's betting sets?
I would think so. I mean, I was surprised to see a check because I feel like people just c-bet small on monotone boards a lot.
I feel like a lot of kings, not pocket kings, but a king with another heart might check this back.
That's a possibility. Also, like queen, jack, maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe something like king 9 suited where it's a sort of like we were saying before, it's a 2-street hand for him.
He's just kind of pot controlling.
Anyways, turn king. I bet 23K into 35, so 2/3.
We'll size up, yeah.
He makes it 60K, which this was really weird. So I had a couple thoughts.
So he goes from pot controlling to trying to get it in. Is what we're thinking.
So my thought here was he's either trying to get it in, or sometimes live players do this thing where they'll make sort of a small to medium raise and then just check back the next street. So they're sort of setting their own price.
Do we feel like he flopped a flush?
I didn't feel like it, but now I feel like he could have.
Would he now try to get it in now that the board pairs, even though he flopped a flush? Maybe. It's just so strange because I think he's c-betting sets that he would boat it on the turn. On the flop, he would have c-bet a set. So it's like, what the hell does he have? And now he's trying to saying he's got a flush that he wants to get in when the board pairs. I don't know. Anyways,
it feels very strong.
Something's weird about this.
Yeah. The best case scenario is either a bluff or he has like a king, but he might even check back a king on the river.
Yeah.
I call the 60K, but I'm not. My hope is he's doing the thing where he's going to check back. River is an offsuit jack, so it's not a fourth heart. It's not another board pair. So the only thing, like king jack beats me now. But
you're just praying that he checks back.
Yeah, I check. He puts me in. I have 90 something thousand left. I think for several minutes, and I fold. And a couple reasons. One is at this point, I think it's clear to him that if he has a king, he's not getting me to call with a worse hand, right? So I don't think he's overvaluing a king, which means he either has a boat or he has a bigger flush.
And he's also supposed to be a good player, so you should know.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's overvaluing. This would just be such a weird bluff line too.
Agreed, yeah.
Because he could just bet small on the flop. Yeah.
So he puts you in on the river.
Yeah. And I just end up folding. I don't see this sort of this just.
You got a 4-high. You flopped a flush, which is a very strong and hard thing to do. But you have a 4-high flush on a pair board by the river where he's trying to put you all in. It shrinks
5-high, but same thing.
High,
unless he has 3-4 hearts, which he's not going to open, I don't think.
It's a tough spot, man. Wow.
It sucked.
Yeah, that's a tough one. So
anyways,
nitty ass folded. I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah. I mean, it felt like a hand. Put it this way. I think the solver calls it off. And I think in this sort of live situation, the solver is just going to be wrong because your opponent is not playing in a way. Live opponents at this level, even if they're good, they're so rarely going to play in a way where they're taking this line as a bluff.
I'm glad you brought that up. Even though the solver says to do it this way,
I'm sure the solver would have.
It doesn't mean it's correct. The solver assumes you're playing against perfect poker.
Yep. And yeah, so that, and I think that's a good thing to take away too, is if you're trying to get better and you're studying the solver stuff, learn it, but learn from it, but don't imitate it.
Yeah. Use it to create a foundation. like for your
Yes.
poker, and then deviate from it for, for example, like fold the flusher because your opponent in a live setting just isn't going to be doing it with a worse hand.
Yeah. And I think it's easy if you're someone who's studying to, I know I've done this in the past and I've seen other young people do it where there's, they're learning and they'll make a call in this spot and they're like, oh, I'm too high up in my range to fold. And it's like, you don't, and then they go put it in a solver and the solver agrees and they're like, okay, no, I played it right. It's like, don't use the solver to validate everything because your solver only can play as well as its opponent. Like if it knew your opponent had certain tendencies, it would give you a much different output.
Yeah, exactly. You're growing, Wes. I'm glad to see this.
Yeah,
you fucking robot. I'm just kidding.
No, I back in the home games, people would be like, "Oh, here's Wes, beep bop boop." Like,
I love that.
What a nerd.
Okay, all right. So that's a really cool hand actually to go over. I'm glad we brought that up. Okay, so that was in the 1K, right?
Yep.
Was that the final table?
We're in the money, but not at the final table. I ended up. So I doubled through him like 2 hands later, and then I lost a huge flip to him at the final table. I busted 9th. Had I won the pot, I would have been first.
Who won that event?
I forgot his name, but we've played with him on Global a lot. He's a solid tourney player.
Is it that Johnson dude?
No.
Oh wait, the Mufius?
Yeah.
Mufius, right?
Yeah, he was so short the whole time.
That was his biggest live cash ever too, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's not a big live player.
Yeah. I saw it was like 3K online was his biggest live cash.
Yeah, good for him though.
Congrats, Mufius. I forget your name, but congrats.
I forgot it too, but you're a nice dude and you played well.
Yeah,
so.
Awesome, man. Cool. Let's get into the main event.
Two flights, $1,700 entry.
It's Friday.
It's
the
Friday.
last weekend of the trip.
Yep. We're like, okay, even if this goes badly, we've both had a profitable trip.
Yeah. I've locked up. Let's see. So I'm with the main event buy-in. I'm at 3,700 in buy-ins, and I'm up, and I have cash for 8.1K. So I've locked. If I only fire one bullet, almost unless I fire 4 bullets at this thing, I've locked a profit.
Yeah. And before the main, I was up just over 21K. So even if I fired the maximum of 4, I'm having a good trip.
Yeah.
Which always, it shouldn't change how you play, but it does change how you feel a bit.
It does, yeah. It gives you, it gives you a little confidence going into it. You know what I mean? Like I felt good. Like, all right, I'm gonna come play my best. And I'm a very intuitive person. I feel like, a lot of people might say that, but I came in even before I left for the trip. I was like, the main event, like I'm just gonna crush that tournament.
Yeah.
Like I just knew it, and it came to fruition. So that was pretty sweet.
Yeah. You bagged the chip lead from our flight. You were second overall going into day 2.
I bagged 681K from a 40K starting stack. It actually was very nice. So I'm almost max late regged day 1A. I came in at like 3 or 4 p.m. The tournament started at 11. It wasn't max late reg, but it was late reg. I think I started with like 40 bigs again, somewhere around 40 bigs. I had a decently tough table, but it was nice because I was just finding spots where things really went my way over and over. Like I opened ace jack suited, get from cutoff, button calls. My buddy Steve Boyle, sorry if I've mispronounced your last name, Steve, Buck, he also goes by. He's a very strong player, circuit grinder. He 3-bets. We won't get into sizings, but I am just to kind of explain how well I was running. He 3-bets, I call, button folds. We have ace jack of spades. Flop comes queen 10, 4, I think, of 3 spades. Queen 10, 4, 3 spades. I flop the nutters with the royal redraw. I went from, what's the saying? I went from midnight to, from noon to midnight real quick. Or no, from 6 to, I don't fucking know.
I don't know where you're going with this.
Anyways, I got a little chubby, okay?
Okay, now I see where you were going with it.
Yeah, so anyways, man, I just got really hot in here. Anyways, he ends up double barrel stuffing it in my face with king high. I don't hate his play. I
hate it.
I'm trying to make him feel better. He's a friend of mine.
I think he just launched it into
He launched it. He did. He's a good friend of mine, but he launched it. Anyways, that doesn't matter. I ended up making a big hand there and getting paid a ton of chips. So I was smooth sailing. I was chip leading at that point. And then I ended up flopping another flush against opponent who wanted to barrel against me. Then I flopped, I think, 3 sets, to which I got paid on all 3 of them. So I was just running pure. And it's one of those pure days. And then at the end of the day, I actually applied a ton of bubble pressure. I mean, I had like 400K, 350 or 400K at this point. And I was one of the chip leaders. And I'm opening every hand. Everybody at my table is short. I'm applying day 2 bubble pressure because day 2 is directly into the money. So we're essentially on the money bubble.
We literally, yeah, because they did it where we play down to 15%. We play down till the money. So the last person to bust is the bubble.
Yeah, and so we're 4 off the money, 5 off the money. I'm opening every hand. I mean, not every hand. I'm folding all my crap hands. I'm not just opening randomly, but I'm, opening my queen jacks, my king 5 suited, things like that.
Yeah.
And then I opened up I opened up pocket 8s under the gun. Big blind with 18 bigs, 2 away from the stone bubble, decides to just hallelujah, 18 bigs from the big blind. I snap with 2 8s. He's got ace 4 offsuit. I'm pretty sure it was offsuit. Might have been suited. I'm pretty sure it's offsuit. And we bust him. Everybody at the table's like, let's go, Max. Like, they're all happy because they're all closer to cashing. I bagged up 681K, which is the flight chip lead.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I had 2 kind of interesting hands, interesting in very different ways. But I kind of was running not quite as well, but similarly. Like I flopped a set and busted a guy.
As every time I kept up with you, you had more chips than me.
Yeah. And I had an all-in where I had aces and the other guys had 2 10s and then ace 10. I mean, can't ask for a better spot than that.
Yeah, of course they both turn equity though.
I had to fade like 15 outs. The one flip I remember from that day I won. And then, and then there were these couple hands. So the first one was early on. I actually had less than starting stack. I had like 28K at 1200. I opened the button with king 6 offsuit, which is right at the bottom of
that's what Steve
range.
Yeah, but it's a different scenario. I get it. You're opening the button.
Yeah. So I make it 2600. Small blind 3 bets to 6K, and the big blind folds. And obviously, like I hate
it's so small.
It's so tiny that I call. And
yeah, position. I think that's fine.
I have position.
If you were in small blind, who's big blind, I might just fold.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm in position against this slightly over 2x 3 bet. Flop is queen 8 deuce. I'm giving up, but he checks. I check back. Turn 5. I kind of think he has either ace king or like jacks 10s 9s. He checks. I'm like, I still kind of give up.
Yeah.
I just have a no equity hand.
You're just not. Yeah. Why? Yeah.
River 6, and I'm like, oh, I have a pair. I might win.
Yeah.
And then he bets 5,200 into what was like 14. Yeah. So after his
best third pot or something,
just over. Yeah. So it's just under 20K in the middle with his bet. So I'm getting a little under 4-1. So I need to win like 22% of the time.
Yeah, and it makes no sense that he check, and then
yeah. I mean, it could be like jacks or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Eventually, I sort of call, and he has pocket 3s.
What was the full board?
Queen 8 deuce 5 6.
So he had the nuts.
He had the nut blockers.
Yeah, the nut straight blocker.
So
was it 3/4 the nuts? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway,
or I guess 9-7.
Oh yeah, but we all know how he's 3 betting from the small through.
I don't know what he is. I turn over the king 6 and rake in the pot, and he just kind of went like, oh, is it? Like,
we love to hear those noises.
I don't know if that was he thought he was good and he thought he was value betting the river. I don't know. I think he misplayed literally every street of this hand. Like,
yeah. I mean, just a C bet would have worked.
Yeah, he can call pre-flop. He shouldn't jam because he and the big blind had a lot of chips, but he should either make a 3 bet against me to commit himself or just call with pocket 3s.
Yeah, maybe set mine or something, or even call some flops. Yeah.
But even after the small 3 bet and I call, queen 8 deuce, like make a small C bet, you get to just win so often. And when you have pocket 3s, every turn card except a 3 is kind of bad.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So
you have no idea where you're at pretty much. So
yeah, but then once you get to the river and you've been checking, like just check it down.
Well,
You're not getting value from my ace highs here.
nice hand, Wes. Nice
Thank
hand.
you.
Like,
Yeah.
so we love seeing the 6. We love scooping that pot. It's actually a nice one. You said you had another one, right?
Yeah, last one from the tournament is so John Redding, very solid player from Minnesota.
Good friend of mine.
Yeah, not a friend of mine. He's a complete asshole. No, I'm kidding.
What a fish.
Yeah, friend of mine too.
John, we love you.
So big blind was 3K. He's got about 120K, and I cover him. He opens the 6,500 and like the hijack button calls. I call small blind with ace-7 of spades, big blind folds. So 25-5 in the middle. Queen, jack, and then deuce of spades. Checks around.
You had ace what of spades?
Ace-7 of spades.
Okay.
Turn 8 of spades.
So you
I
had a
check.
flush draw now?
Nut flush, so yeah. He bets 12K, button folds. I don't really want to bluff here. He could have trapped on the flop.
Yeah,
He could have turned to
maybe if it was like a shittier flush draw.
Yeah, maybe. Or if I had like the 9 to go
Ace
with.
high has some showdown value.
Ace,
I
I can beat king 10.
yeah.
So I have some showdown value. And if I'm drawing to the nuts and, I only need like 24%. And so there are some implied odds too, right? Like if he has like king 9 of spades here, I could just cooler him for all of it.
Yeah.
So I call. Pot's 49-5 now. River is the jack of spades. So I make the flush, but it pairs the board. I actually strongly considered leading here because I think I'll have some jack 10 stuff.
Okay.
I'll make some flushes. So it makes some sense for me to lead. And also if I had king 10, maybe I would do that too to balance it out.
Is there any reason to check as well, just to have them
Yes.
continue his story?
Yeah. So I'm like, well, he could also have king 10. Or if he has a worse flush, I get it all by check jamming. And so I go for the check, and he bets 28K. And so he bets just over half pot. And I thought about just calling for a while because I think he would trap like pocket queens on the flop, and he could have turned a set of 8s. But in the end, I'm like, he could have a jack, which would be tough for him he might fold. He has some 10-9 suited, and he could have a few other flushes. So I decided to jam.
Okay.
And he folds. I think he had king 10.
Okay.
But yeah, so that was a few interesting spots there.
Okay. So that was leading up. That was earlier in the day, you said.
That was later. Blinds were like 3K. That was later than the last one.
What did you end up bagging?
I bagged 359, I think.
359. Okay. And then we're coming back to what big blind did we come back to?
It was 8K. So I had about 45 bigs.
It's a very nice
And you had
stack.
680.
Yeah.
So
So I had 85 bigs.
85, yeah.
Gosh, coming into day 2 with like over 40 bigs is such a good feeling in any tournament.
Yeah.
Like it's it's like that sweet spot where you're not, it's a big enough stack where you can play comfortably. You can play poker, right?
It really is.
So we love to hear that. So, all right. So it's day 2. Oh, actually, no, let's getting ahead of myself here. That was Friday night. We take Saturday off.
Mm-hmm.
We make it almost like, a chill day. We hop in the hot tub, kick it. We tried to record a podcast in a hotel.
We recorded over an hour's worth, and it just...
My computer crashed right as we finished it. Thank God I got a new computer for when I had a new computer I ordered right before our trip that was waiting for me for when we got back. So
good lesson.
This is our first podcast recorded on this new laptop.
Yeah.
It hasn't.
It better.
No
better
fatal errors yet.
Yeah.
Pretty hyped on that. So anyways, yeah, we enjoyed Saturday off and we were just ready to get after it Sunday.
Yeah. Super exciting. It's like the trip's already gone well. We're already in the money in this tournament.
We're both on one bullet and in the money.
In the main event.
Dude, I was so happy. It felt so good.
Only upside from here on out.
Yeah, exactly. We're locked. This means our profit is locked. Like whatever we make at this point is just bonus, right?
Could be a lot, though.
It could be a lot. It's the main event. We have 116K up top in this event. So the buy-in is it 116, right?
Yeah.
As a $1,700 buy-in with 116K up top. How many total entries did it have again?
It was 350 something.
350 something, yeah.
Because both flights had, I want to say 352 total. What was the total?
So let's get into day two. I'm going to start off with a couple of. I don't think I've even told you how pure I ran at the beginning of day two.
You didn't, or you mentioned
I briefly mentioned it. So very first hand, I sit down at my table. I'm second in chips overall. Someone bagged a bigger stack. I mean, Mo bagged a bigger stack on day 1B. So I'm second in chips overall coming into day two. We're in the money. Life is good. My table draw looks decent. I have a couple of familiars there. I got Mark Hodge 2 to my right for the first hand here. I start off in the big blind. He's on the button. Folds to him. He's got 250K. And we came back. Sorry, one more time. What was the big blind at this point?
8K.
It was 8K. Yeah. So he had just over 30 bigs, right? He opens the button. I look down at King 7 off in the big blind. I call. He min clicks it, so he makes it.
I have a feeling he's not about to have 250K anymore.
It's probably a good guess, my friend. So I call King 7 off. The flop comes King 8 2 clubs.
Yeah,
I check. He bets 3 big blinds. I check raise out of position to like 10.5 bigs.
So you're just trying to get it in now.
I'm just trying to get it in, right? And I mean, you know, he's got a lot of folds here, but like I also think that I've played with Mark a lot, and I think that he thinks that I'm aggressive, and that I might be doing this with flush draws or even just air. Hi, Juno. That's my cat jumping on my chair. If you heard that. Anyways, so I check raise. He pretty quickly just tosses in a call.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, like we got a little action here. I got trips. So the flop is King 8. I have King 7, right?
Yeah.
I have no club, so there's 2 clubs on there. Turn comes an ace. There's an ace of diamonds, just a red ace. I bet. So at this point, I'm thinking like, hopefully he floated me with ace high here. Maybe he's got ace high with clubs, something like that. I feel like he'd probably put me in if he had ace high with clubs.
Maybe. Well, at this point, like he has less than pot behind, right?
Right, he does. Yeah. So I could probably just jam here, but I didn't. I actually kind of downsized a little bit to try and keep him in, because I also didn't, you know, if say he's got like pocket sevens or something, like I just didn't want him to fold, like because I might have the ace high club draws that turned an ace and he just crushed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I downsized. I don't remember exactly what it was. It was like half pot. He calls. River comes a deuce of spades.
Okay.
And now he's got like he's got like half of what's in the pot, right?
Okay.
So I just jam, and he goes, all right, I call. And he flips over ace 10 of hearts.
Hearts. Interesting.
Yeah. So he floated me. So he floated my check raise on the king 7, turns the ace. I get a little value.
King 8, you had King 7, right?
Oh yeah, King. Yeah, exactly. I'm so good at this. I'm so good at this.
I remember your hands better than you.
I know, right? Jeez. Yeah. So we scooped 250K first hand. Pretty sick.
Yeah.
We love it. Second hand, so I'm up to, let's see, almost 1 million in chips at this point.
Yeah.
I have like 950 or something. The very next hand, we'll keep this quick. I open Jack 10 of clubs from cutoff. Small blind 3 bets me. No idea who this guy is. Folds back to me. He 3-bet 3x. So it was from the small blind, it was relatively small. It probably should be a little bit bigger, like 4x or a little more over 4x.
Yeah. How much did he have?
He had like 280.
Yeah.
So he had
That's
over
probably
30 bigs.
fine then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I call. Flop comes 7-8 king.
Okay.
Or so it's 8-9 king. So
Okay.
I have the open ender to the nuts.
All right.
He bets half pot. I call. We turn the absolute stones.
Yep.
He checks on the turn.
Okay.
So it's
Queen or 7 on the turn?
It's 7-8-9 king.
Okay.
So I have the stones with 10 jack. He checks. I like his check here. I mean, yeah. I mean, knowing his hand, I like his check. You'll hear what his hand is later. So, anyways, he checks. I bet half pot, which is probably like, man, I'm struggling to remember like stack sizes at this point because I didn't write any of this down. But he probably had like, it was probably like 30% of his remaining chips.
Okay.
He calls. The river comes an offsuit like 4 or 3. It's just an irrelevant card, means absolutely nothing. It's a brick. He checks. I jam. He snaps. He's got aces.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm up to 1.3 million. All of a sudden.
You have like almost a final table stack now.
No, I mean, I have exactly what I went to the final table with 50 left.
That's insane.
Yeah. So yeah, I ran like that. And then right after that, there's a couple hands where I ended up chipping back down, lost a couple hands. But we'll keep this kind of short because I know we're kind of running out of time here. What happened to you on day 2?
So I chipped up a bit early, went from about 315. I peaked at like 560 maybe. Then I lost a few hands, could get into it, but nothing insane. The bust out hand is at least worth mentioning. Not because there was any real decision from me, but you'll see. So I have 270K at 612K. So I have 22 and a half big blinds.
Yep.
I'm in the cutoff, ace, queen of diamonds. I min raised to 24. There's a fold, small blind.
Did you tell me you had ace, queen of hearts?
Diamonds.
Okay. Not it matters.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, it does because ended up being hearts on the board. But I had ace, queen of diamonds. Small blind just says all in. He covers both me and the big blind by a lot.
Yeah. He says all in. Okay.
Yeah. And I can tell he's a very aggressive player.
This guy apparently has 14 rings.
Yeah, he does. Big blind folds. I call with ace, queen of diamonds. We see the 6-5 offsuit.
Oh,
I thought it was, at first I thought it was pocket sixes because that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
But no, 6-5 offsuit.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. And
window card is a 5. So it's 5, 7, 8 all hearts. Turn 6, river 6, just for a little extra mustard.
So you were dead on the turn? Is that right?
Well, I had chop outs, open-ended chop outs. You know, but
word on the street was he was tired of you opening the cutoff.
Yeah. So our friend John was at the table, and apparently when I left, he said, because I remember I had done it like the last 3 times. Apparently, he was tired of me opening the cutoff
while he's in the small blind.
I guess so. And those other times, I had king, queen, ace, jack, and 10-8 suited, so I had like totally reasonable. I don't know. It struck me as a very live player thing to say, like, oh, this absolutely meaningless sample size of things happen, so I'm gonna put a stop to this.
Okay.
And so. But I left and I wasn't even too upset.
No, you had a great attitude after that beat, but you've been running absolutely pure.
Yeah, I had run great, and I was like, shit happens, and sometimes like, how did I phrase it? Like, I just view that as like the poker gods are being like, it can't be this easy. Like, you have to keep working at it. So
yeah, well, good for you for having the right mindset. This is again like something we've talked about. You'll hear on other podcasts we've already recorded that'll come out soon. But like, you have the ability to react. Or you make the decision on how you react to a bad beat. So like,
yes,
if you want to live miserably, like, go ahead and get upset about it. But
I've been there too.
I mean, and we do sometimes. But like, if you want to do it the correct way, or at least in a way that will benefit you, like take a second, remember all the good things you have, and react to it in a more positive way.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, then I got up and I'm like, well, at least now I get to get out of Council Bluffs.
Yeah, literally all of my friends, you, John, Ben.
I think we busted like 33rd through 31st.
Yeah, it was boom, boom, boom. So all my friends are out. I'm the lone wolf, ready to just get in there and finish the job, right? I'm going to actually keep this pretty short because we're running out of time here. But essentially, there's a couple one quick hand I want to talk about where there's 11 left. We're 5-handed. I open cutoff, ace king off. I have 40 bigs. Dave, what's his name? Dave, the guy who won it. Hengen? Yeah, I think Dave Hengen. Yeah. So he's the guy who won ended up winning the tournament. He 3-bets to 3. He 3x's me, a little over 3x actually, just slightly over 3x. And I 4-bet jam 40 bigs with ace king off here. 5-handed, I think it's pretty okay. It's not terrible.
Yeah, late positions.
Yeah, I mean, and we're also 5-handed. I also think that, I'm doing this for value at this point. Like, I know he's 3-betting a lot more, like ace queens, ace jacks, etc. I mean, even other things. So anyways, he waits for about 10 seconds. He thinks about it and then just folds queen's face up. And he's like,
Shocking.
I didn't want to flip for that much or or just be crushed for that much. And I was like, okay. Like, I was blown away by that.
Yeah.
I'm probably sticking in the call with the queens there.
I am too, yeah. I mean, it goes to show the power of
surviving.
aggression.
And aggression.
Aggression and
Surviving
also-
that he won the tournament, aggression, and that, like, yeah, I got him to fold queens.
Yeah, you got him off queens. Like,
The whole table was flabbergasted. It's pretty amazing.
also, if you're gonna fold queen, like I know, like I talked about when I folded queens in Gladiator, but like, don't even if you feel like showing it,
don't show it because then people are
gonna know you.
Yeah.
They can just take advantage.
Yeah,
of
try
it.
and run you over a bit. So I ended up getting aces versus kings to get a heap, and then right after that, I got aces again against pocket queens, and homeboy at the table says I folded a queen. So.
So there's only one left.
This is for over 2 million in a massive chip lead, and he unfortunately spikes it. So I go into the final table, I believe 6 of 9, something like that. We ended up getting 2 people ended up busting, so we're down to 7. I got into a kind of a controversial hand.
Yeah, that's right.
Where Lowry opens button. What's his name? The older guy, the older gentleman. Anyways, he calls
Henry.
button. I defend ace 9 off in the big blind. The flop comes 7, 8, 9 rainbow. I check. Lowry does not see bet. He checks. The old man bets 200K. I have 800K, I believe, or 900K at this point. I call, and before I let go of my chips in the mid, like I have my hand forward, I have my chips, but before I let them go, the guy original raiser just puts all of his yellows in, putting us both all in.
The pre-flop raiser.
The pre-flop raiser, yeah. So I'm like, are my chips committed here? So like we get the floor over. He rules that my chips are committed. So I put in the 200. The older gentleman who bet the 200K puts the rest of his chips in, and I fold top. Well, the guy who put us all in, the original pre-flop raiser, has ace 6 of spades, so he has the bottom end of a open ender. It just blew my mind to see that.
But the other guy did have 9-8.
The other guy had top 2.
2.
Yeah, the older gentleman on the button had top 2. He got the full double. And then I was the shortest stack at that point, so I ended up getting in 10 bigs with ace 9 suited. Ran into ace jack off, and that's how I busted in 7th place for 16.1K. So. It ended up being a 25K gross week for me, and somewhere around there for you too.
Yeah, 28K off of, I believe, 5,200 in buy-ins.
Yeah, and I was
let me think. Yeah, 5,200. I had 6 $400, one 1,100, one 1,700.
Okay, and I was 25-ish K off 3,700 in buy-ins. So it was an awesome week. We
were there for 10 days, and we each netted over 20K. Like that's pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, that was. I mean, trips don't always go that way, nor do they often. So it was very, very nice to just have a locked up trip for both of us. And I think the worst beat I took that entire trip was recording the hour-long podcast and having it fail at the end. So
yeah, that sucked. But here we are.
Yeah,
you know.
Man. Anything else you want to end up with here before we finish this off?
No, I mean, I think we kind of went over everything.
Yeah.
Good trip.
The circuit is fun. If you guys have a chance, check out the WSOP circuit. They don't come to Minnesota, but they play in Iowa. They used to play in Wisconsin, no longer at Potawatomi.
Elgin, Illinois, if that's how you're saying.
Yeah, kind of by Chicago there. Yeah. They have one. Yeah, definitely recommend playing the events. The structures are great. The tournament directors were very nice and accommodating. The players were fun. It was just a great time.
Yeah, agreed.
So, well, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up there. Again, thanks for listening, guys. If you have any questions or, just want to talk poker, or curious, say we have lingo or something that you don't understand, even like for you newer players, just go ahead and send us a message. We'd be glad to help you out.
No, we'd love to hear from you. Other than that, though, I think until next time.
For sure. All right. See you guys later.